take a little bit of a deeper sense of that. How was it? Like, what were the pros? What were the cons of that?
Okay, so it was definitely an experience for me. I mean, to this day, it still actually is an experience for me. I enjoy it. I identify as Jewish to my friends, to my family, even to strangers. Like, they'll ask, "Hey, what are you?" I'm like, "I'm Jewish." I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't converted to Judaism as of yet, but I've grown up in the religion with having Friday night Shabbos with family, going to shul when I was younger, going to shul a little bit in my teenage years. I don't go so much anymore just because I can't read Hebrew. I've been taught it, it's not, but I have forgotten a little bit. But being in shul and seeing how quickly the congregation is able to go through the prayers, I just feel awkward if they're on page 20 and I'm still sitting on page 10. So I actually don't go to shul mostly just for that reason. But on the occasions when I do go to shul, or the shul I go to, one thing I've come to really love about the community there is a few of my cousins go, my uncle goes. Initially they would be like, who are you? But I'd be introduced and it's like, oh, okay, cool, nice to meet you. And even to this day, I could waltz into shul randomly and the rabbis or someone in the community will be like, hey, Dovi, how are you? How's so-and-so? How's this person? It's never a question of, are you lost? Are you sure you're meant to be here? I mean, growing up, I had a few instances where that has happened, especially at major Jewish events, but it's more from a security point of view, not so much hey, what are you really meant to be here? Growing up when I was younger, I initially always thought it was maybe I wasn't meant to be there. I was like, should I not be here? But my family's here. They're telling me to come. Like, what's going on? But as I grew up, I realized it's entirely just security purposes a lot of the time. But so the pros is that I really love the community feel of having a Friday night dinner with your family or even going to someone else in the community. And the same with a Saturday Shabbos lunch. Once every year in November usually. Last year I think it was the 16th of November. But I think the date changes slightly just 'cause it always falls on a Friday going into a Saturday, but it's usually around November, give or take. There's a thing called the Shabbos Project, and I used to do that quite a bit, and I'd observe Shabbos for a weekend, make sure I'm showered by the time Shabbos comes in, put my phone away, don't watch TV, don't do any of that. It's no electronics, no driving, walk to shul, walk wherever I've got to go, and I've enjoyed that. And it's those moments where a part of me looks at especially when it comes to converting, because there's different avenues in which you could do it, or mostly Orthodox or Reform. But I look at it and I think to myself, like, if I were to convert, I think this is something I'd look into doing, is keeping Shabbos. I always thought I wouldn't be able to keep kosher, but I keep kosher at home with my aunt and uncle, and it's challenging, but it's also manageable if you put your mind to it and you're prepared to do it. It definitely does take a lot at first, but eventually you grow into it and you're like, oh, it's actually not as bad as it seems. But like I said, the community of it is absolutely amazing. Whereas the cons to it, I think for me, was a lot of the time was dating. Because I personally, I like dating everyone. When it comes, regardless, race, religion, all of that. I'm open to everyone. And I found that growing up initially, I always thought, I'm raised by a Jewish family, I've got to date or marry a Jewish girl. And in the beginning stages, it's kind of like, okay, well, hang on, it's all great me saying, let me marry or date a Jewish girl, but eventually I look at myself and I'll be like, I don't think they date outside their race. Mind you, that still rings true. There are some who won't, and as I've grown up, I've realized that it's not so much a case of no, it's just they just won't do it. It's a lot of the time it's preference, or it's just this is how they grew up, this is what they're used to and they're accustomed to, and it's kind of hard to change from that. Still blows my mind, but but again, there are some, as I've come to see, there are some who are open to giving it a try, or it's even like, hey, I don't mind dating you if you're a different race. It's just like, I'd prefer if you were to convert to Judaism, which is something growing up I was like on the fence about, but I would. It's definitely. I mean, I've considered converting both just for myself, but also if I were to find a Jewish partner who's like, hey, I like you, you like me, I want to get married to you, I want to see a future with you, but I just need you to convert. Would you do it? I would.
Really?
I would.
Wow.
I wouldn't become extremely religious, because there's like extremely religious within the Orthodox community. Like I've seen it. I can't do it. But if it's like, hey, can we keep kosher, or can we at least keep Shabbos, that I can do. But the whole every fast that we have, being able to do that, I can't. I've seen my cousins do it, and I admire them to be able to do it. I personally can't. I've got enough when it comes to fasting. I can fast for one big fast of Yom Kippur, but other than that, no. Like there's certain things I won't be able to do, and I know within myself that I won't be able to do it. But there's also certain things that I'm like, you know what, I'd be prepared to do it.
Wow, this is so fascinating. A lot of nuggets in there. Yeah.
I personally just didn't realize that. I understand that there was the converting to Judaism, but I always assumed that if you were born into a Jewish family, it automatically almost makes you convert. I didn't realize there was extra steps to that.
Yeah. No, so if your mom, so in Judaism, we follow the religion of the mother. So if your mom is Jewish, your kids are automatically Jewish. Whereas if you're in the case of, where again, a lot of the time I think to myself, like, hey, I want to marry a Jewish woman, it's like, you're Jewish, the kids will be Jewish. I don't necessarily see why you're so hung up on me not having converted. I mean, I've been raised in a Jewish family. Trust me, I know the bells and whistles and the whole procedure. I mean, I'm prepared to go. I do it in general just at home. But a lot of them, quite a few they're just adamant. They're like, hey, please, can you just convert? It's just easier. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm prepared to do it. But again, you will be Jewish regardless. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing of some people, they just have it in their head that they want both them and their spouse to be Jewish, regardless of the fact that, yes, I'm a Jewish woman, my kids will be Jewish. I think it makes it easier of knowing that the whole core of the family is Jewish, instead of the case of assimilating of like one of you's Christian, one of you's Jewish. Don't get me wrong, I have seen quite a few families where the mom's Jewish and dad's Christian or whatever it may be, and it also works. So yeah, that's really each to their own, I think, at the end of the day.
Okay.